Hey fam bam, it's Sienna. Today I just wanted to sit down and have a chat with you guys because oh my gosh, is there like a fuzzball in my eye? Cut. I just wanted to chat with you guys because a lot has been going on with me, and I did get some requests for more spiritual videos, although this is not technically a spiritual video, but it's more of like an update video. I tend to get more private the more I'm going through. Do you know what I mean? But first, hold on, because I have to tell you that we have a word from our sponsor, and who better to bring you this information than the courtesan of class. Oh, hello there. It is I, the courtesan of class, as you know. And I am here to help you, darling. I give you all my tips and tricks on how to be a high-status woman like me. And that is with Dossier Perfumes. Now, I know that everyone cannot be rich and fabulous and perfection like I, but that doesn't mean you have to smell bad. Maybe you don't know this. Dossier perfumes are designer dupes. So why spend hundreds of dollars on a designer perfume? Then just get a Dossier perfume, smells exactly the same, for around $29. When you get your box, make sure that you spray it. See if you like the smell, and if you do not, you can return it and exchange it for another perfume. We have very exciting news. There's a new genderless collection, so that no matter what gender you may be, you can find a perfume or cologne for you. And look, they even have candles now, and everything is available at Walmart. Can you believe it? Make sure to check the description box below for all the links you will need, and any discount codes. I'm very excited for you, darling. Welcome to the club. Ta-ta. Okay, here's the thing. As I've been going through my spiritual awakening and development in this year, I have noticed like I have changed so dramatically since 1 year ago in so many ways. One in particular is that I'm better equipped to handle issues and conflicts that arise, because I just know that I am not my emotions, I am not my thoughts. I'm literally the awareness, watching the thoughts, experiencing the thoughts, experiencing the emotions. I'm sorry if you hear noise in the background, it's my washing machine going off. Sorry guys. So having that awareness that I am not siennaspalding, I'm the consciousness that is existing in this physical plane as siennaspalding is such a tremendous help. I don't know, maybe you guys aren't really into spirituality or anything like that, but the essence of it is the remembrance that you are a spirit. You are oneness consciousness existing temporarily in a physical human body, utilizing a mind to create a personality that exists on this physical plane. I don't know if that sounds like a lot, but it's kind of like the most simplest thing ever. When you really think about it, you're like, oh, I'm the awareness, I'm the consciousness, I'm the essence of me that exists once this body has decomposed and died. I will continue to exist, just this body will not. Once you kind of have that awakening, it becomes a little bit easier to deal with life. Not only that, but you become so acutely aware and sensitive to different energies passing through your body. I can literally like pick up on things now so quickly. What I wanted to explore in this video was like telling you guys a little bit of my experiences dating with this new awareness. Basically, my entire dating life has been dating horrible narcissists. And if you do a little bit of research on narcissists and codependence from a psychology standpoint, there's tons of videos on YouTube about it. You will discover that trauma in childhood causes you to utilize one of these two coping mechanisms to varying degrees. So you've got the narcissist and you've got the codependent, and both of them are very manipulative coping mechanisms. The narcissist almost becomes like the shark, like me, it's all about me against the world. I'm going to utilize people for my advantage, for survival. The other one, codependent, it masquerades as like somebody who's like more giving and empathetic, but really it's a manipulation tactic, because you're manipulating yourself to get what you need and what you want out of people through like morphing yourself and doing things for other people, but it's all like strategic. And if you're really honest with yourself, you'll discover that. Like, I used to fall under that category as my coping mechanism. I'd be like, I'm such a great friend, I'm so amazing to other people, but they treat me like shit. It's because it's not coming from an actual authentic place. When you give because you just want to give, not because you're trying to get them to love you, that's real giving. When you're giving because you want to elicit a response out of the other person, whether you want them to like you want them to do something for you back in exchange, you just want them to see you as a certain type of way, that's all manipulation. That's not actually giving for the sake of giving with absolutely no attachments and no need for anything in return. That was a hard pill to swallow, discovering that about myself. So these two coping mechanisms attract one another. They're polar opposites, which makes them absolute magnets, which is why you will always have the narcissists who can sniff out these codependent people, and they use them to feed their ego. It's crazy, and it happens with most people fall under one of these two categories in some degree. So as you start to heal, you'll begin with your relationships out here on the outskirts, like the far extreme ends of the spectrum, and then as you start to like become aware of things and uncover past traumas and start to really become aware of yourself, you'll slowly move inwards. And the next person you date is like a little bit less of a narcissist or less of a codependent person, and then you'll slowly get more into the middle. And this is like where most of the healing has been done. Then you can have like an actual healthy relationship. Also, don't feel bad if you're one or the other, because literally everybody falls under one of these categories. And the funny thing is you can flip-flop too. So because they are two sides of the same coin, just a coping mechanism, I've found myself to be the narcissist in one of my relationships. All the rest of them, I was the codependent. So, it's very, very eye-opening and enlightening when you come to these realizations. But it's fabulous because you're like clearing out all this space for new people to be able to come in, for new emotions and experiences that you haven't had before, instead of repeating the same old patterns time and time and time again with just different people. So this last dating experience that I just had was extremely useful to me because I got to see how I've changed in the past year. So what happens is the universe will oftentimes send you an echo of your old vibration so that you can then experience the same type of person or situation from your new point of perspective. It was so crazy. So I went out with this guy who's extremely charming, extremely sexy and beautiful, great sense of humor, intelligent, money, all the things, girl. I was like excited about it. Throughout the course of 2 dates, I was like, okay, this is literally my worst nightmare, because he was extremely narcissistic, extremely not self-aware, not spiritual in any sense, but had all the things on the list that I wanted externally, you know, like he checked all the boxes, but he didn't check the boxes over here, which was all the like the internal stuff. What's interesting is that in the past, I would have continued to try to pursue things with him. And I always remember, I think I've mentioned this in a past video, that I've always been like more of that masculine energy female, which is a whole nother story of why that happens, and like a wounded feminine. So anyway, I've been really, really honing in on my feminine energy, girls. That means really sitting back and being the receiver and allowing the man to pursue me, which is what I've been doing. Proud of myself. But I saw these character traits in this man that was the same character traits that I had dated in every other relationship that I've ever had. And when I say relationship, I'm just talking about like men that I've dated in the past. Now I am so in touch and picking up on signs. While I'm having this date, he like comes to sit next to me, and I notice that I am very like on guard with this person. I don't have really a reason to be. He's extremely beautiful. He's saying all the right things. He's being such a gentleman, but something inside of me just like, like I don't know, like he came and sat next to me, and I just kind of like, I didn't feel like comfortable. And then he like touched my leg, and I almost like, I don't know, like flinched a little bit, which is weird because like I wanted him to touch me because he's so sexy, but then my body was picking up on an energy within him that was not compatible. I don't think he's a good man. I was sensing that. You have to trust your gut, you guys. Even though the first date went great, I still had that weird, I don't know about you type of a feeling. Date number 2, it all came crashing down, girl. Like All of my suspicions were correct because I was thinking, he's probably a fuckboy. He probably is used to women throwing themselves at him. Girl, I can't even like make this shit up. Like seriously, like I meet him for lunch and it was really cold out and so my nips were hard. And he was like, oh, are you just hard? Are you happy to see me? And like fucking flicks my nipple, you guys. What? I'm laughing because it's just, I have to. What else are you gonna do? Cry? Like, I can't even make this up. On what planet is it okay to do that to a woman? Like, what the fuck? Guys, I was like, it's over. It's done. It's dead. You're dead to me now. So I just leave. I know I'm never gonna talk to him again. He hasn't even tried to text me or anything. Like it was just, like he knew he fucked up. That type of behavior on a second date, are you kidding me? A warning to men out there, like we are not objects. God, I can't even get over it. I was just like, oh, my instincts were spot the fuck on. Yeah, I just swatted his arm away and I was like, absolutely not. He's like, oh, what? Don't be so sensitive. Excuse me? Now you're trying to gaslight me, making me think that I'm sensitive and I can't take a joke. I can joke with the best of them. And I am not like a prude by any means. I deal in nightclubs since I was 18 years old. I have been grabbed, poked, prodded, treated like a fucking piece of meat for years. So I'm actually very used to that type of behavior, but I'm used to it when I'm getting paid. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. Point is that I saw through all the bullshit on that first date. I will give it to him. He was so charming, you guys. Like, I'm sure that women fall under his spell all the time, but the fact that I was so aware, which I've never had this type of awareness before, this is so amazing to me. And I'm really proud of myself how far that I've come this year. So I just want to give you guys a few tips when you're dealing with these men, when you are talking to a guy, Bumble, Tinder, whatever, Hinge, whatever, and he starts talking about anything sexual at all. Innuendos, jokes, anything. You have to unmatch and move on. Unless you want to just have a quick one night stand or like a bed buddy, a hookup buddy, and you're totally okay with just being used for your body and using him for his body, more power to you. That's totally fine. But you just have to be prepared mentally for that situation. You will never turn a bed buddy into a boyfriend. This is just the way it is, you guys. Like, I'm sorry. I used to always think like, oh yeah, if our feelings grow, it could turn into a relationship. No, you cannot change it into a relationship, okay? Men, when they meet a woman, they are instantly sizing you up. They are putting you in categories. Are you wifey material or are you bed buddy material? Some of them do it just based off of how you look. That's not even your fault, okay? Some of them are doing it based off of your energy with them, where they are in their point in life. Sometimes it's based off of just, are you the type of woman that they envision themselves to be marrying one day? And if you're not, I'm sorry, they're never gonna put you in that category. They're not like us. Like women, we are a little bit more flexible, a little bit more creative, a little bit more willing to sway on that. These are all just my opinions, you guys, okay? So take it for a grain of salt. The second he starts talking about anything sexual, especially when he hasn't even met you yet in person, unmatch, done, you're dead to me, block, move on. Because men that sexualize you right away will never see you as anything more than a bed buddy. They don't change their minds, you guys. Like, you can't win them over. That's like the biggest misconception for women. And it's also, they're testing you and they're testing your boundaries to see what kind of a woman you are. Personally, I don't even entertain it at all. I just ghost them and block them. Yeah, one of my girlfriends told me a story about how the guy they were talking about like their favorite types of foods or something, and he was like, oh yeah, this type of cheese, it's like a spicy cheese or something. He's like, oh yeah, that type of cheese, every time I eat it, it makes me cum. I'm sorry, what? Now you just ruined cheese for both of us. That is the most immature statement I've ever heard. That is not something that you say as an upstanding gentleman. Like, the type of person that I want to be my partner would never say that to a woman he just met or didn't even meet yet. Me personally, I just don't have any tolerance for any of that type of stuff because I have extremely high standards. Now, I have not always. Now my standards are high. I have reinvented myself and I will never accept that type of behavior. I will not overlook it. I will not justify it. I will not play it off as though it's funny or a joke joke or silly or any of that stuff. No, you meant what you said and you said what you meant. People will tell you who they are within the first couple of hours of meeting them. If you listen and you pay attention and you don't overlook those red flags, I promise you they are telling you who they are. And that took me a very long time to figure out. There are many men out there, they're not comfortable sharing emotions and their inner self. They don't know how to be intimate unless they're being intimate through sex. They're confused themselves, and then they're confusing all the women out there. Intimacy is not sex. You can have sex with zero intimacy, and you can have intimacy without any sex. What is it that you want? And a lot of men, they don't even know what they want. They're like filling a void, and they're confused what the void is. So you have to become more aware of yourself and what you're looking for and what you want from another person, and you have to set those boundaries, and you have to be stern with those boundaries. And I promise you, the more stern you are, the more people that will rise to the occasion will come into your experience. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any interesting stories, I would love to read them in the comments below. Check out Dossier. The link will be down in the description box. Love you guys. Bye.